Hi, I'm Michael. I'm from Graz University of Technology. I'm also the coordinator of the Elias Box project. And well, first of all, I have to apologize that I didn't manage to attend your workshop at UMAP, but I'm really grateful that I have the opportunity to present work, ideas, visions. So thank you very much for that. And I'm going to talk about learning analytics and theory-driven approaches to learning analytics, specifically in school settings. Learning analytics and techniques like educational data mining offer a solid foundation to understand individual strengths and weaknesses, individual learning paths, individual learning goals, and they offer the data and data analysis it takes really to reach this level of understanding. What we have in many educational scenarios is this. We have a learning curve, and some of our learners climb that learning curve very easily. Some do not even try, and some fail entirely, which is not a good situation. So, to improve education per se, and specifically school education, we need a solid educational assessment, perhaps data mining, and we need to analyze the data in a formatively inspired way. What we have to do is we have to identify individual characteristics, including traits and states and needs. We have to identify the learning goals. We have to identify competencies and perhaps also the competency gaps that might need to be filled. And perhaps the most important step is to come up with very clear and detailed recommendations about what to do next. This, of course, requires to have a solid foundation of data that can be analyzed in order to draw the right conclusion for making learning more individual and more personalized. So as you can imagine, this of course is an ideal case. If we're talking about school education, specifically on the K-18 level, we find a really different situation. Our children, they do not sit in front of some sort of digital device all the time. Learning is still a social process, an interactive process, and I think that is good. This is where Elias Box enters the stage, because usually teachers are producing data. They're using learning apps every now and then. They're making exercises in a computer lab. They're giving homework in Google Docs. Perhaps they're using a learning game. So the problem with that is that the data is incomplete and messy and scattered and unclean, and it's coming from various sources. And what Elias Box does is we're providing this cardboard box and allow teachers to throw everything they have in. Technically, this is not trivial. We developed a central system that is capable of bringing all those scattered and unclear data together. We are providing various APIs to link the external data sources to the system. I think most importantly, we're using X API. And a specific challenge arises from the various data formats and data types. So we developed an intelligent mechanism that allows linking all those various data sources and all the information to a central competency model. And I'll explain that in a second. And by this means, a teacher can benefit from analysis that are made on all available information. And in terms of personalization, this means that teachers can gain much deeper and more detailed insight into learning processes of all their students now. As mentioned, in the center of Elias Learning Analytics, we have a competency model in a specific domain. Now, what we try to do is we try to bring two psychological theories, basically from the field of intelligent tutorial systems, together. The one is CBKSD, Competence-based Knowledge Space Theory, and the other is Formal Concept Analysis, FCA. CBKSD is basically decomposing a domain of knowledge into atomic chunks of some sort of aptitude, knowledge, ability, skills, competence, whatever word you want to use. On the basis of these entities of aptitude, we try to find the natural course of learning, the natural course of development, and on this basis we can establish a relationship between the competencies. So we can say the one is learned before the other, the one is necessary to understand the other, and so on and so forth. And such kind of relationship allows us to derive a global structure of competence. This is basically our competency model. Now, this model is a latent model. This is what is in this black box, a human brain. We cannot directly observe it. We cannot see if a specific person has a competence or not. So we try to link observable behavior, performance, evidence, test results to this competency model. And this is basically the very heart of this cardboard box. You can throw all sorts of evidences in, and we're linking the evidences, the test results, the Google Docs homework, the learning app results to this central competency model. That is CBKST. The second is FCA, formal concept analysis, and basically this is an approach, a technique of data mining. If we have a large data set, think about 30 students in a class and all the activities they're performing over time. FCA allows us to identify certain patterns in such kind of data sets and allow us to group objects together. So what we have is, for example, we have a number of students and we have the learning objects they attended in the past. And in the course of the project, we realized such kind of central platform, and this is how this platform looks. Teacher can log in, and we have all sorts of tools for the teachers to track activities, to bring external data sources together, and of course to display the analysis. In addition to that, we have alternative forms of visualizing the results of the LIAS analysis. Here we have the so-called learning landscape, which is groups of students who attended specific learning objects, also groups of students who hold common competencies. So it's very easy for a teacher to detect students with many competencies, students with not so many competencies, and so on and so forth. You can do a lot of filtering, so it's a very interesting tool. We also have a typical FCA lattice visualization, which again shows different lattices. It's an upward drawing, so it's read from bottom to top, and again you see different groups and objects of your students. Perhaps most importantly, here we have a screenshot of the OLM, is the LIAS box approach to open up the learner model. So what we have is, you perhaps know that in learning analytics we have belief models, we have competency models, we're assigning values to students, and all that most often is based on some sort of complicated algorithms or formulas, and that is a very intransparent way, and usually teachers and students do not like such kind of assessment, being assessed by computer systems. So a very important part of LIAS box is to open up the values, and the idea is how these competency values have been computed. So the OLM, and here you see a screenshot of this OLM feature, allows you to drill down into the details so you can see directly as a student what are the activities that are stored, what are the evidences that lead to a certain competency value or grade, what is the degree to which they influenced this current value, and so on and so forth. So this is a very popular and, we think, important feature and functionality, also in terms of ethical transparency of what you're doing with student data. And so all in all, this is the toolbox we developed. Currently, we are deploying this box to various schools. We have partner schools in Germany, in Austria, in the Czech Republic, and in Turkey. And here you see some pictures of the studies, and we try to identify the acceptance of teachers, of students,
the usability, also the validity and reliability of the Elias box analysis, and so on and so forth. So first results show that teachers very much appreciate specifically the open learning modeling and the idea of centering their education competencies and linking all the various activities to these competency models. So if you have further questions, if you're interested, if you want to learn more about what we are doing, please contact us or visit us at liasbox.eu or on Facebook, Lias Learning.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for providing me with the opportunity. All the best for the rest of your workshop, and bye-bye from Graz.